Alright, we're back. I didn't want YouTube to delete my live because we had some pretty good content. I didn't want it deleted. So if they do try to delete this content right now, I really don't care because we just started a new one.
Try swallowing it. Swallowing it. Swallow it.
1 year later, he randomly met one of his YouTube idols, Shoe Nice, and challenged him to a burger eating contest. Steve was constantly testing his body's limits. After dabbling in bodybuilding competitions in high school, meeting his girlfriend, and going through the typical teenage party phase, he was desperate to make something of his life.
At one point, I was like,
yeah, I seen this guy. What caught my eye was this dude drank a whole bottle of liquor in one sitting, just chugged it. I was like, this guy's insane.
enough is enough. Like, I just wanted to do, I wanted to be something. That's when I started making Instagram videos again.
In April of 2017, the infamous Steve Will Do It Instagram account was created. His friend Alyssa Wilson actually made the account for him and even came up with the alias Steve Will Do It, and he would truly live up to his name. From downing bottles of hot sauce with no hands to eating chewing tobacco on tortilla chips, Steve was punishing himself for other people's entertainment. But 2 months after starting his new career, he was arrested in Florida at the age of 18, charged with possession of marijuana, possession or use of drug equipment, and knowingly driving while license suspended. He disappeared from Instagram. Then a few months later, Steve was arrested again at the age of 19 years old, this time for possession of marijuana with intent to sell, possession of drug equipment, and resisting arrest. He was now on probation and his life was spiraling down. Steve Will Do It is making a comeback. Can people request things for me to do? Anything but liquor. Eager to get his life back on track, he remained consistent with his crazy challenge videos, even though they were only being posted to a few hundred followers. But one of those followers was about to change his life.
Steve, the story with him, I think my boy Matt, who ran the
Nelk Boys.
Okay.
I think he sent me, or Lucas, or both of them, they sent me like a video of Steve, and he was chugging Jack Daniels on his driveway, like a full.
Disgusting.
I think it was like a 2.6.
Yeah. It's disgusting.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Like I saw that, and he's just on his driveway, and he just pounds the whole 2.6.
Watch football
Insane.
all season long, live and
That
cable-free
is insane.
with YouTube.
And I was like, I've never seen that in my fucking life.
Kyle Forgard was one half of the YouTube channel Nelk, which in 2018 was already over 1 million subscribers. Not only were they known for being viral pranksters, their brand and slogan, Full Send, was based around the idea of being reckless, heavy drinking, partying, and living a fast-paced lifestyle. So when Kyle discovered Steve, he knew he would fit right in with the Nelk Boys. Just a few months after their first DM exchange, in late 2018, Steve made his first appearance on the Nelk channel in a video called Drinking and Lectures Prank.
And we want to introduce you to one of our boys, Steve Will Do It. What's up? Good, baby? What's up, man?
Nelk fans immediately latched onto Steve.
Man, the Nelk Boys, man, these guys are reckless. If you watch their early videos around like the 2018 era, 2017 era, them boys were just oh, they were so reckless.
They loved his genuine smile and willingness to do anything. He started to play a larger role with each video he appeared in, helping Nelk create more viral videos like We Completely Ruined a Wine Tour in Italy that has close to 10 million views to date, where Steve infamously slammed a bottle of wine and dove across a table, shattering every glass along the way. In under 1 year, Steve Will Do It gained 1 million followers on Instagram, making underage drinking videos on probation. At this point, he was too popular to just be a side.
How did he not go to jail? Like again, if he's on probation and he's drinking, underage at that, it sounds like you revoked your probation right there.
Character on the Nelk Boys channel.
Listen up and get ready. Steve Will Do It is starting his own YouTube channel.
The Steve Will Do It YouTube channel was created on May 30th, 2019, and thanks to Nelk's cult fanbase, he had over 415,000 subscribers in the first 3 days alone.
Dude, check the stats. 415,000 subscribers in 3 days, bro.
That's insane.
And his first video went #1 trending on YouTube. Unlike the typical Nelk vlogs and prank videos, he would kick off his channel the same way he started his Instagram page back in 2017, with extreme and potentially dangerous drinking and eating challenges. I ate 4,500 milligrams of THC edibles, attempting to eat 30 burgers at In-N-Out, the world's biggest joint challenge. In 1 month, Steve Will Do It hit 1
this guy
million
is
subscribers
insane.
on YouTube, making him one of the fastest growing channels in YouTube history. But Steve's content was far from the advertiser-friendly videos that YouTube wanted on their platform, making him an easy target for demonetization and strikes from the very start. In fact, it wouldn't take long at all for his videos to start being taken down.
They don't let me post what I want. Like I posted a video of me drinking beer and it got 2.5 million views like that. It was actually very quickly. And then I posted a video of me drinking a bunch of wine and then they deleted that video and my beer video.
Even with the extreme success his channel experienced early on, it
I
did
mean, yeah, I can see that, right? Because who's watching his videos? You probably have 13-year-old kids watching his videos, and when he's acting like that, I see why YouTube did it. It's not surprising.
We have offers from 2 companies that we actually we love, and they're 6-figure deals for YouTube advertisement.
But many people, including myself, were wondering the whole time how he got so much money. Private jets, massive giveaways, he was clearly spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, and with his channel being demonetized, it wasn't blatantly obvious how he was so wealthy. How?
Now, I mean, all this just speculation now. It's all speculation. But I mean, the way they're portraying this right now, they're probably going to say he did some type of Scarface shit. Are they going to say he's Scarface? Is that what we're getting into? He was Tony Montana?
Was Steve Will Do It making his money?
What is your mission?
To be a billionaire.
You're gonna be a billionaire.
All right.
To be a billionaire, yeah.
Do you have a timeline for that?
3 to 5 years.
We do know that Full Send featured a collection of Steve Will Do It branded apparel around 2019, and according to the New York Times, Nelk sold $50 million in Full Send merchandise in 2020 and could surpass $70 million in 2021, so he probably made a decent chunk of revenue before distancing himself from Nelk. We also know that he helped them launch their Happy Dad hard seltzer brand. There are no official numbers released, but they have had a really hard time keeping up with demand. Liquor stores are selling out of all of their inventory within hours of stocking the shelves. It's very possible Happy Dad is generating tens, if not hundreds of millions of dollars in sales. If Steve even has a small percentage of ownership, that's big money. But just before Steve's demise, a questionable sponsor popped up and took the internet by storm, Roobet.
Courtney is
What, betting?
back from Tech Bootcamp, becoming a software engineer. She's wanting to switch to tech.
Okay.
By the way, make sure you're drinking water.
Hold on, guys. We gotta drink our water. Okay, I'm ready.
Yes. That's 5 free spins, baby.
In 2021, Steve turned an addiction into one of his biggest sources of income, thanks to a sponsorship with the offshore crypto casino, Roobet. Alongside the likes of Aiden Ross, FaZe Banks, RiceGum, and the rest of the Nelk boys, Steve was now flying out to Mexico, since it was illegal in the United States, to gamble on the website and stream it for his millions of fans. Winning and losing up to hundreds of thousands of dollars in each session, it was hard for viewers to look away. This only increased the popularity of Roobet, who paid Steve big time money. After accidentally pulling up a conversation with another crypto casino on his stream, Aiden Ross leaked that they were making more than $1.4 million a month from...
What? Aiden, they offered me a bag. Dual Bits, I offer you guys nearly $2 million a month, LOL. Aiden. Okay, that's out. You offer 1.4 and didn't want to cover expenses. Roobet covering expenses, plus we get referral code money. And we are getting more. Sorry, bro. Maybe we can work again someday. Dual Bits, you kept all your referral code money as a group. LOL, I offered 1.6. Golly.
Roobet. Plus, these
guys, we in the wrong. Hey, we in the wrong business. We in the wrong business. You know, we need to get a deal with one of these offshore gambling places. We need to just go to Mexico or wherever it's legal in. Get a brand deal from them. And call it a day. Be on the beach. Feet on the sand. Got my phone in my hand. Losing money, but yet gaining money.
These influencers were profiting off referral codes. The more viewers they got to sign up, gamble, and lose money on the site, the more money they made. Steve allegedly wasn't even gambling with his own money at the time either.
Yep.
Instead, using a fake
they probably gave him money.
Currency provided by Roobet.
If I started like putting my own money in this, I feel like I feel like if I just filled myself with 4,000, just like, right? Like I feel like I could like, but also it could be dangerous. But I see it as there's no point in putting my body or your mind through that type of stress. Right? I don't need it.
Yeah, definitely don't need that, bro.
Wait,
Steve
why?
Basically admitted here.
Why is this illegal though in the United States? Gambling's legal though.
That he's not using his own money, and he could never imagine himself doing that. So with no risk, Steve was driving young fans towards one of the most addictive vices on earth, making potentially millions of dollars a month in the process. However, he was using this same sponsorship money to give back to people in need. This was an ethical dilemma that would set the internet on fire, especially after CoffeeZilla and Some Ordinary Gamers released a 5-part series exposing Steve and Roobet, ending with Steve getting on the phone with CoffeeZilla and admitting that he has a gambling problem.
We're gonna watch
that.
that.
Gambling problem is not good.
And then you're making the majority of your money from getting other people to gamble while you yourself don't really want to do it anymore. Like, isn't that kind of like a problem?
It's definitely, it could be a problem because gambling's not good.
But just like most internet controversy, this blew over relatively quick. And in 2022, Steve and many others were back online gambling with a new crypto casino, Stake. With megastars like Drake partnered with the company, Stake quickly became one of the biggest crypto casinos in the world, opening the door for influencers who caught heat from the Roobet scandal. At this point in 2022, the Steve Will Do It YouTube channel was doing better than ever. He was just shy of 5 million subscribers, the giveaways and vlogs kept getting bigger, and Steve was now sponsored by Stake, making a killing. His second channel was also doing well. After streaming himself gambling on Twitch, Steve would post clips of his streams to his second channel, which is completely allowed and nothing out of the norm. However, there is one unbelievably small thing with these gambling clips that YouTube takes very seriously: the URL. According to what YouTube told Steve, www.stake.com must be blurred out or not visible in the videos under any circumstances. You're allowed to say that you're playing on Stake, show yourself gambling on the website, but the viewers should not be able to see the actual URL. Unfortunately for Steve, this one ridiculously small rule would cause everything he built to fall apart. After his editor forgot to blur the stake URL, his gambling channel was deleted. Steve created a new second channel and promoted it in one of his main channel vlogs. But before he did that, he checked in with a YouTube rep who told him, "You should be fine if the Google AdSense account on your main channel isn't associated with your second channel. Because if you don't know, you could have theoretically hundreds of YouTube channels that all just get paid out to the same account." According to Steve, he had a totally separate AdSense account that he claims he didn't even own, or he didn't have the password to. But at the end of the day, that didn't matter. On August 1st, 2022, Steve would get the call from YouTube letting him know that his Steve Will Do It channel was permanently deleted. Usually YouTube requires 3 strikes for a channel to be wiped off the platform
3
for
strikes,
good,
you're out.
but Steve didn't even have 1. His main channel was in perfect standing when this all went down, causing many to speculate that this was a targeted ban, and maybe YouTube was waiting for any reason to take Steve off their platform.
YouTube never gave me a call or let me know. They called me the day of deletion, and it was a girl, and she seemed pretty stoked I was getting deleted, and I was like the set.
Yeah,
she seemed happy, and I was with me and my editor, and we're like, bro, like she's happy.
Yeah.
like she like you're giving someone like the worst news possible, and you're doing it in a way to where it's like you're happy. It was kind of just fucked up. And
so this YouTube employee, seeming excited, confirms his suspicion that it was a targeted ban, because at first the only information that he got was that he had, quote, repeated violations of the community guidelines, but that's extremely vague. When the news hit, fans, friends, celebrities, they were all shocked and confused. If this happened when he was slamming alcohol and taking substances on camera,
that's a different story.
That would have made sense. But when he switched up his content, giving away hundreds of thousands of dollars to people, what happened? Well, Steve finally opened up about it many months later.
Yeah, I post gambling clips on my second channel, which you're allowed to do. You're allowed to show yourself playing stake.com. You're allowed to say, I'm on stake. Hey guys, I'm playing on stake right now. But if stake.com is in the video, your channel, they delete the video, right?
So the issue started on his second channel, Steve Will Do It Gambling. His editor forgot to blur the stake URL in one of his videos, which led to his gambling channel getting terminated. So Steve made a new gambling channel, but that qualifies as ban evasion. If you don't know, you aren't allowed to just start a new channel when your old one gets banned. And he made it even worse when he promoted the new gambling channel on his main Steve Will Do It page. That now gives YouTube grounds to terminate his main channel as well. For example, if I got banned on my second channel, Pat CC, even though it's totally different content, I'm still the same owner. And while I was banned, I wouldn't be allowed to post on my main Patrick CC channel. And if I did, I could be banned on my main as well for ban evasion. Steve thinks that YouTube finally got him in the perfect loophole to wipe his 5 million subscriber empire off the platform, because no other YouTuber was banned for gambling on stake. It's crazy to think that this entire catastrophe came about because he forgot to blur a URL. From here, he signed an exclusive deal to make weekly content on the site Rumble in September of 2022. This site is becoming known as the free speech platform where banned creators flock to, since the terms and conditions are very, very loose. Since he's been banned, Steve has definitely taken a massive hit in relevance, since his viewership is much lower on the new site, and it keeps getting lower with every upload. And now that he can never come back to YouTube, his career will never be at the heights that it once was.
That's tough. That's tough. Very tough. All right, let's see. They got to be playing the game on here, right?
Tom Brady and think about 10 Super Bowls, 7 Super Bowl wins. It just seems untouchable, kind of like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar's scoring record, and LeBron James is here at the Super Bowl. He just broke that a week ago. So I don't think anything is out of reach. I don't think anything is, you can't say anything is impossible, especially when you're dealing with Patrick Mahomes. If you like stats and pass yards and all that stuff, it's great. But he just has it. And when I say it, I mean you're never out of
Let me see if this is up to. Up to
just throw the
speed.
ball around the field, keep you in a game. This team never gets blown out. And here's something. Of the 93 games that he started his career, they've either held the lead or been within one score in the fourth quarter of 90 of those games. That is unheard of. Patrick Mahomes is a special, special talent, and we're lucky enough that we're going to be seeing him, I feel, in a lot more Super Bowls.
Well, you sit here in television, you try to come up with something different about some of these players, which sometimes
It's close.
I think he's one player, fellas.
It's close.
What can I say that's even different? I would say this: they bring in Schuster this year, first time at wide receiver. Scantling's coming in at another wide receiver.
Darius Toney.
Yeah, Tony comes in. So they're all new, and he still throws over 5,000 yards. He's just special. All right. Today he'll have to be special when he plays against these Eagles because they can get after you, and he does have a bad ankle, but we'll see. If you go back to the Super Bowl when they beat the 49ers, they were down with 8 minutes and 53 seconds left in that game, and boom, boom. Not one long pass over 20 yards down. Sonny had 2 40-yarders and a touchdown, and they win that football game. He's just so good at never, ever feeling that they're not going to win, and that, my friends, is special.
He's a transcendent talent, and here's the scary part. He's evolving. You look at this offense last year when they had Tyreek Hill. It started at that point when people started running shell coverage, 2 deep safety, forcing him to take the check down. Essentially, when Tyreek Hill left, to use a golf analogy, they took the driver out of his hand. Well, he's shown that he can beat you with the 7-iron, the wedge, or the 8. He can do it all. They've changed this offense with those new receivers.
He is a special individual to watch. We are getting closer to game time. We're also about to tell you how you can win $1 million tonight.
Hold on.
The guys will give their
Let me
Super
find
Bowl.
out.
It's all as we continue and get ready to wrap up the pregame show here. Also, Anthony Mackie will help us honor America as we continue getting you ready for the kickoff of Super Bowl 57.
$200 instantly.
All right, we still got time.
$5. DraftKings, listen to me. You listen good.
We still got some time. Let's do it.
Disney owned Miley Cyrus. Literally, they owned her name.
Really? They owned her name? I can understand them owning Hannah Montana, but not her name.
2006 to 2011, we all witnessed what could be considered the greatest Disney Channel show of all time.
That's debatable. Hannah Montana was up there. I'm not gonna cap. I'm not gonna lie about that. It was up on there, but I wouldn't say the best.
Most of us look back on the show as nostalgic, fun, and overall positive. However, Miley does not have the same feelings. She was the lowest paid cast member. She was working 12-hour shifts.
What? I'm not just... How? If literally the show was made for you as the main character, how are you the lowest paid?
And was dealing with an identity crisis all throughout her teenage years. We've seen a number of child stars spiral out of control, and it seems like Miley was heading that way in the early 2010s.
Oh, yeah,
Maybe
yes.
her wild phase was all planned.
Yeah, Miley was kind of out of control, like the late 2010 era. She was just...
He had an insane
she was out of
amount
control.
Power and control over the young girl. Instead of rolling over and dying, Miley decided she was going to fight the conglomeration. She was going to take back what was rightfully hers and make Disney want
Hold
nothing
on.
to do with her.
Hold on. We got something. Here we go. It's really the only one I know. Hold on, that's actually Disney music. Hold on. I don't want to get striked. See, I can't watch any of this because I feel like YouTube's going to strike me for copyright. We tried, guys.
Stay hydrated. Miley's birth name was actually Destiny Hope Cyrus. Her parents would call her Smiley growing up, which ultimately got shortened to Miley. Throughout the 90s and early 2000s, her father toured the world singing his country music anthems. In 2001, he landed his own TV drama and family show called Doc. Miley was 9 at the time and realized her new passion was acting. She made her acting debut as Kylie on Doc and was instantly hooked. She had another small role as Ruthie in the film Big Fish, but when the opportunity for Hannah Montana presented itself, Miley was fixated on landing that role. Hannah Montana was a new Disney Channel show about a teenage girl who lived a double life as a famous pop star. Michael Poiriers was the writer and
Good
producer
concept.
for Hannah Montana.
Good
He had the
concept.
show idea years before it ever came to TV. They'd seen over 1,000 kids audition for the roles and still could not decide who was right for it. Miley's first audition was when she was 11 years old in 2002. She auditioned for the role of the best friend, but then was encouraged to go for the lead since she was a very talented singer. So she sent in another audition, and another. Ultimately, the show producers knew that they had to see her in person if they wanted to make a decision. She flew in and killed it. Her raspy voice, confidence, and true southern twang was exactly what Disney needed. Miley didn't just embody the character they wrote, she was her. Miley was a small town girl from Tennessee who went to school and had a big family. Her dad was a famous musician, and she was a very talented singer. She had always dreamed of being like her dad to some degree.
You know, I thought she got the role because of her dad.
But always loved her friends and life in the country. She fit the role so well they even casted her father Billy to play as her dad on the show, as they had a father-daughter bond so real it could not be recreated. They actually changed the lead character's name from Chloe Stewart to Miley Stewart because they couldn't separate the character from the real person. The show aired in March 2006 to 5.4 million viewers, the highest TV show premiere in Disney history at this point. Then they would average about 3.5 million.
I watched it. I'm not gonna lie. I loved it. Not gonna lie about that either. I'm not ashamed that I watched Hannah Montana and sang along with the songs that was out there. I remember back then the Nintendo Wii. I believe it was the Wii. It was either Wii or the PS4 or PS3, excuse me. I believe, actually, going back at it, I think it was the PS3. The PS3 had a Disney game called Disney Sing It. I loved it. Every dang Disney song was pretty much on there. I love singing the Hannah Montana songs. The Hannah Montana songs and the Camp Rock songs. Matter of fact, do they have that? Disney Sing It. I think it was on the PS3. Yep, this was the game. This was the game. Let's see the song list. That's the game. Does it have a song list on this? Yep. Didn't see that one. Camp Rock, where is it? Gotta Find You. Saying that one. This Is Me. That's the one with Demi. That made Demi blow up. Saying that one. Here I Am. Saying that one. Cheetah Girls were... Nope, didn't see any of the Cheetah Girls. Corbin Bleu. Push It to the Limit. Saying that one too. And what was great about this game, right? You could do duets. You had a karaoke bar in your living room, right? So let's see. What are the ones I see? Best of Both Worlds. It was like almost religious of me to have this be the first song that I sing when I first turned this game on. I had to sing the Best of Both Worlds. It had to be the first one. If the Best of Both Worlds was not the first song that I played, it was not going to be a good game for me or my siblings. Life's What You Make It. saying that one too. Nobody's Perfect, saying that one too. Didn't sing Rockstar. So now we're going to the High School Musical, right? So Get Your Head in the Game, saying that one. Start of Something New, saying that one. Bet on It, saying that one. You Are the Music in Me, saying that one too. And then, let's see. No, the Miley Cyrus started, never sang that one. See You Again, didn't sing that one. Girls Not Nope. Jordan Pruitt, am I saying that right? I don't know. Outside Looking, didn't sing that one. So these ones I didn't really sing. But as you can see, look, these tracks were fire. Fire. I might buy this game. I might buy it.
Million viewers per episode every week. It was the most popular kids show on TV. She immediately became a megastar, both literally and on the show. Miley was living her biggest dreams. She was on Disney. Her parents were happy.
So this is what the problem is with child actors and actresses. When they hit stardom like that, something psychological is going on in their brain, right? These guys, they are children, right? Put in essentially an adult world, right? That's why a lot of these child actors go crazy when they're older, right? Because at a young, they don't have a childhood, you know? They are literally bred into a world of adulthood, right? Think about it. You're anywhere from 5 to 13 working a job on set for 13 hours straight, making money around adults, right? Telling you how to work, right? Them essentially can be very rude to you, you know? The director could be very rude. So all the stress, imagine them going through multiple takes until they get it right. Imagine all the stress of them, because it happened with that director and one of the person, what station was that? On Nickelodeon, right? Literally told a Nickelodeon character, hey, look, you need to do better. If you're not going to do better, we will find somebody else that will. Imagine hearing that as a kid. Think about that, right? And on top of that, you don't know anything about money. So who's going to manage your money? Your parents, right? And then you got some of the parents out there that steal from their children. And the children don't have money when they're older because the parents spent it all. So I don't know. Hollywood is a very dark, dark place.
And everything was sunshine and rainbows. However, there was a lot
Very
of
dark
pressure. Miley went from being an aspiring actress to 12-hour workdays.
Like see, that's exactly what I was talking about. She probably loved the idea of being an actor on TV, but when it was time for her to act, then she realized, hey, look, I don't love this. I can't be around friends. I can't be a kid. And I'm working all day. Think about working 12 hours. That is you. Some of y'all already hate working a regular 9 to 5. So imagine doubling that.
Recording studios, live performances, and doing her schooling on set.
I know I would hate it.
You count as independent, right? No.
Miley probably
But I don't know. If I make millions, hey. I mean, hey.
had a hard time trying to balance schoolwork and acting. If she had Grammarly, her workflow would have been way more efficient. Grammarly is an all-in-one writing tool that improves productivity and saves time when you have multiple assignments to complete. It is free to download and it...
I had to go to the restroom after that one.
works where you work, such as Google Docs to help you save time and work more efficiently. But upgrading to Grammarly Premium will save you even more time with their advanced features that suggest different words to use, point out unclear sentences, and fix up your writing to make it
It's
more
his script.
compelling. Succeed on your finals by using Grammarly's free synonym feature to replace overused words, which is very helpful to me because I find myself being very repetitive. Grammarly Premium's plagiarism detector will also save you time finding citations, getting your work done quicker. Plus, it's hard to juggle all of your assignments during final season, especially with all your different classes. Get the right message across, especially during crunch time, with Grammarly's free setting goal feature to ensure you're writing to the correct audience. I put a lot of research in my videos and spend multiple days scripting them. I have to make sure every sentence is perfect so you don't get bored and click off the video. Grammarly's features not only make me sound more professional, but they save me at least 3 to 4 hours of work time. With midterms and assignments piling up, succeed in school with tools like Grammarly. It's free, why not? Go to grammarly.com/PatrickCC to sign up for your free account. And if you'd like to get extra features, upgrade to Grammarly Premium for 20% off to save time and work more efficiently. She was living a double life on the show and in real life. You can imagine how hard this would be to process as a 13-year-old. When she would put on the Hannah Montana wig, the response was way different. "Where's Hannah?" fans would scream to her when they see her in real life. Like, what? I'm Hannah. Wait, no, I'm Miley. But they don't care about me as much. But when I throw on the wig, they love me. Miley's mother,
I could see
Tish,
that.
who was her manager, didn't realize how quickly a mega corporation like Disney could take advantage of a child. They didn't even negotiate her salary, which is rumored to be about $15,000 per episode. Apparently, this was lower than some...
What? I mean, but sheesh. That's a lot per episode, though.
Her co-stars. They kind of just went with the motions. Billy Ray had a resurgence in fame. He was doing shows and selling albums. Miley was getting her little paychecks, so everything seemed to be good.
I mean, you make that money as a 13-year-old? I mean, I'm happy. People don't even get that now in a month.
At some point, they realized they were getting way less than what they
Probably
were legally
3
entitled
months.
to. And Miley said her mother, quote, hired smart people to protect me in that way. In a 2016 interview with Elle, Miley said, I didn't know any better. My name was Miley on the show, but I didn't own my name. We didn't think about that. January of 2008, Destiny Hope Cyrus legally changed her name to Miley Ray Cyrus. When it was reported, she just said Miley was the name she identified with since a very young age. Plus, being known as Miley to the world because of her show, it only made sense. While those things are definitely true, the little hint, we didn't think about that, made me want to go deeper and speculate further. I think there might be a deeper and maybe more complicated reason why Miley changed her name. Nobody knew Hannah Montana would be an overnight sensation, but they were aware of the potential it had. I'm talking commercial potential, money baby. And remember, they spent years going through thousands of auditions to get the right person, just in case it took off. In my Disney Popstar Factory video, I highlighted the machine that Disney built with Lizzie McGuire, the Cheetah Girls, Hannah Montana, and others. They had a very...
Hillary Duff. Yeah, I'm not going... If I had to simp over one person, it's Hillary Duff. I told myself that's the woman I want to marry. When I was a kid, obviously. I love Lizzie McGuire. I would put Lizzie McGuire on top of Hannah Montana. I said it.
Very calculated
It's
and
true.
efficient approach to hiring talent, casting them for
It's
a
not.
show,
I'm not
and
even.
releasing...
I'm not even being biased about it. Like putting that aside, putting my feelings aside as a kid. Lizzie McGuire's top tier. Lizzie McGuire was a show that a young boy could watch and not be ashamed of watching it, because you had a beautiful woman as a heroine, as a main character. How could you be ashamed of? Now Lizzie McGuire, that's a different story, right? Because she was 13 at the time. You know, she's singing and whatnot. You didn't really see that in Lizzie. You didn't see that in Lizzie McGuire. Lizzie McGuire was just a regular slice of life show.
Soundtracks and original music under their label Hollywood Records, making millions in the TV game and the music industry. Lizzie and the Cheetah Girls were kind of like trial runs. They were successful, but nothing like Hannah Montana would become. The show premiered to millions of viewers every week. The very first Hannah Montana album released in 2006 and would go 3 times platinum. And I don't believe Miley received any payment for this album. And if so,
that's
very
messed up.
minor. The certification isn't even credited to her. It says various artists. It was also released under Walt Disney Records, which is basically their label for soundtracks, compilations, and remix albums, whereas Hollywood Records is their label for real albums, not just TV or movie related albums. On top of that, merch was definitely flying off the shelves. T-shirts, dolls, phones, pencils, purses, posters, keychains. They were selling everything.
So you
Most
get
of
paid
that
for
was
that?
Hannah Montana stuff, which is the character that Disney did rightfully own and create, so it would make sense if Miley wasn't being paid royalties. However,
Well,
in
she gotta get
2007,
something.
During season 2, things got a little interesting. June 2007, Hannah Montana 2 album released, but it also had a second disc called Meet Miley Cyrus. This album went #1 on the Billboard Hot 200 and would go on to sell 3 million copies, which was accompanied with a 70-show tour. Almost 3.5 months straight of shows. All of these were 10 to 15,000 person stadiums selling out within minutes. The tour grossed $70 million. She would perform half as Hannah Montana and half as Miley. While she was definitely getting a performance fee, which I would say was anywhere from 10 to 30,000 per show, which would end up being around 1 to 1.5 million for the tour. Sounds like great money, but her name is on the tour. She most definitely could have.
She could get more because her name's on there. And on top of that, you get 1 million and they're actually making 70 million.
Have owned a percent.
Man, I would have been like, hey, you gotta give me at least 15. At least.
Percentage of the whole thing with the right negotiations, making at least 10 to 20 million, but she did not own her name. People called her Miley Cyrus, but technically that was a stage name. January 2008 was the end of the Best of Both Worlds tour, and aside from the Hannah Montana movie, this was actually the last time she would ever perform as the Hannah Montana character. The beginning of 2008 was when Destiny Hope was legally changed to Miley Cyrus. My guess is that these smart people that Tish hired were advising her to legally change her name as a contractual loophole. Now, you can't just get out of a contract by changing your name. If that was the case, everyone who had a mortgage in America would be changing their names and poof, no more house debt. However, Miley has been working like a dog at this point for almost 2 years, selling out stadiums all over the world. Truthfully, this should be enough money to set her up for life, but I don't think they had it. So changing her name might allow her to sign new contracts and renegotiate better terms. For example, in 1993, Prince legally changed his name from Prince, which was his birth name, to an unpronounceable symbol. Why? Warner Bros. Took the name, trademarked it, and used it as the main marketing tool to promote all of the music I wrote. Doesn't that kind of sound like what Disney was doing with the name Miley Cyrus? Now I'm summarizing this a lot, but basically everything that Prince records and creates is technically owned by Warner Brothers while under the contract. So by changing his name to the symbol, he can record new material all in his home by himself, and Warner doesn't own it since it wasn't made by Prince, it was made by the symbol. So maybe Destiny Hope signed some sort of contract with Walt Disney Records while recording and releasing the Hannah Montana albums, but when she legally changed her name to Miley Cyrus, maybe that allowed her to sign a new contract with Hollywood Records and release her new album Breakout under the stage name Miley Cyrus.
These damn loopholes, man.
Therapy for me, I think when the pandemic happened, when COVID hit, I had a lot.
But it wasn't just
lawyers were really out there working.
All business. Miley started resenting the character a lot. Really, Hannah Montana was not a character. That wasn't what the show is about. It was about a normal girl with a wig on. Everything was always in me. The concept of the show. It's me. Hannah was just Miley with a wig on. Take off the wig and you have the exact same person. Her identity as an artist and a person was being thwarted by a fucking wig. She wanted to break away from Hannah Montana. Breakout, released July of 2008, was successful. It went platinum in just a few months. I remember that album. Just before the album, she got into some controversy for this topless photo shoot with Vanity Fair. Miley and her family felt like it was just artistic, but she was pressured to apologize for the provocative photo. Also around this time, photos leaked of her and her boyfriend at the time kissing and cuddling. Disney was not happy. All of their stars kept a squeaky clean image, so Miley was towing the line. She spent almost all of 2008 filming the 30-episode season 3 of Hannah Montana and working on new music. In 2009, she released Party in the USA, which would eventually go on to sell 10 million records. This is still her biggest song of all time. She performed the single at the Teen Choice Awards, which stirred up controversy for her pole dance, which was pretty mild. Still, Disney was getting more and more fed up with her. Now the 16 turning 17-year-old was about to embark on the...
So it just seems like she just wanted to nuke her relationship with Disney. That's just all that is. Like, all this was on purpose, I think, in her eyes.
Wonder World Tour.
She wanted to break
didn't
away
perform
from
as
them.
Hannah Montana at all. The tour was 56 shows long. The smallest venue was 10,000 people. The biggest was 20,000 people. The O2 Arena in London, which she sold out 5 nights in 1 month. Which kind of made me take a step back and realize just how massive she was at age 16 and 17. She sold over 800,000.
Come on, think about that. You're 16, 17. You can't take a picture with your boyfriend? I'm telling you, that's why they go crazy.
Tickets on this
'Cause
tour.
of things
And
like
the tour
that.
grossed $66 million, so it's pretty safe to say that Miley Cyrus
can't do
could
nothing.
stand on her own without Hannah Montana. I'm also assuming that she made way more money on the Miley tour due to the legal name change. Think about it. She did 70 shows on the Hannah Montana Best of Both Worlds tour. That grossed $70 million. And she did another 56 shows as Miley after filming a whole new season of the show. That's an insane amount of work and pressure for a teenager. Maybe the Miley
How does she
tour,
have
they had
time,
some
like,
ownership
downtime?
in and stood to make a lot more money. Maybe they were trying to gain leverage and show how Miley didn't need to be Hannah Montana anymore. Because as much as we don't want to accept it, she didn't want to be this character anymore. Maybe her parents just said, hey, let's just do this one tour and we could be done for a while. The 2010 release of Hannah Montana Season 4 got pushed back. They said she was busy touring, but we all know she was full-blown fed up with this character she had been playing since she was 12. In the middle of 2010, she released her album Can't Be Tamed with Hollywood Records, which the album name alone...
Hey, that's a shot. That's not a coincidence. That is a shot.
Speaks for itself. The music video for the single stirred up controversy again, as she was underage acting scandalous, which is mild by today's standards. At this point, she is publicly admitting she is done with the character and wants to move on, even though Hannah Montana Season 4 is still not even released yet.
So that's not, completely over for my fans, but I'm kind of moving on to new things.
But Can't Be Tamed was a commercial failure compared to everything she had done before. The record still isn't gold, and the critical reception was poor. She didn't even do a North American tour for this album. My guess is at this point, Hollywood Records may have told her, see, you do need Hannah Montana. Maybe her going out publicly saying that she was ready to move on was making her fans resent her, but she wasn't able to get new fans because they still looked at her as the Disney girl. She was stuck in the middle.
That's
a
what
couple
happens.
weeks after she turned 18, a video of her leaked while smoking salvia out of a bong. Disney was livid about this.
Yeah,
Miley
she's
smoked
done
weed
after
as a
that.
teenager, even during her time on the show, but she obviously hid this. She even had a massive clothing brand deal with Walmart in the works. Once the news came out about the bong, they cut all ties with her. Her live performances were starting to become provocative, which again by today's standards are actually very mild. She started admitting the realities of being a child star.
There's times that you hear what you should be so much that you lose what you actually are.
Miley had been media trained to answer questions in a specific way, to think a certain way so she could be more marketable and relatable. Every time she had a thought, she thought about Disney and how they would feel about her response.
Do you ever swear? No. You stub your toe. What do you say?
That right there was a response when you know Disney's watching. What person does not swear? The girl was caught smoking a bong. And you gonna tell me she doesn't like cussing, or she doesn't cuss?
I don't know. Ow.
Disney owned her mind.
Ow.
Her thoughts for years. 2011 was the first year she didn't work at Disney. It was her first real break, but with reruns and the show being so massive, it never really escapes you. Everywhere she goes, that's what people want to talk about. That's still what she is known for. She cuts her hair. A simple haircut and people all jump the gun. She's going crazy. She's just like every other child star. She broke up with her fiance Liam Hemsworth. She dropped the We Can't Stop music video where she was twerking and being risque. The media was in a frenzy. Then the 2013 VMAs performance. Miley wanted to make history.
I remember that. I remember this. Everybody was like, what's Miley on? She's lost her mind. She needs to go to rehab. She needs help. Someone help her.
Exactly what she did. Going into it, most people thought, oh, Miley Cyrus, the Disney girl. When she came out, they were shocked.
They were
The
shocked.
twerking on Robin Thicke would be the viral moment that caused most of the outrage. This is so embarrassing. Little did they know, Miley was calculated on this the whole time. She wasn't going crazy. She wasn't trying to put on an artistic display of emotion. She was trying to fuck shit up and get everyone in the world talking about her music, and that's exactly what happened. Every single celebrity chimed in, calling her a stripper, hooker, trashy. So she went the artistic route and dropped the Wrecking Ball music video. And of course, people...
It's funny how that happens. I remember when this came out. This was right after that show. It was like she spiraled downhill. She unraveled. That's what people were saying.
People didn't look at that as artistic. They thought, wow, she's really doing whatever she can for attention. Then again at the EMAs where she lit a joint on stage, collaborating with Juicy J and Mike Will Made It, and a ton of other rappers. No matter what she did, people pinpointed her as the Disney star gone trashy and try hard. But if you watch any interview or listen to her talk at this point, it was all highly calculated, self-aware, and conscious.
I'm changing and learning so much. I think especially now that I feel like I found more of my independence. I don't think I was ever really happy with who I was.
Sure, she liked to party and go wild, but understood the media game was just try to keep them talking, while she keeps collecting the money. Because her album went 3 times platinum, We Can't Stop 5 times platinum. The Wrecking Ball video has 1.5 billion views and went 7 times platinum, and here we are talking about all of this almost 10 years later. Her parents didn't want her to go wild. Disney didn't want her to go wild. And because of it, Disney did everything they could to disassociate with her. Did she do it for business reasons? Or did she do it to escape the child star stigma? Because her wild phase calmed down immensely.
I think a little bit of
2013.
both.
She
I
went
think a
back to
little bit of
normal
both.
pretty quickly, making country songs and pop songs that didn't rely on her being naked to sell. And if she didn't have her wild phase, we would still be thinking of her as the girl who couldn't survive without the help of the Disney conglomeration.
That was well said. I think it's a little bit of both, in my opinion. Oh, Aiden Ross is leaving Twitch because of this. Oh, I need to see what this is about, but I am going to get off. I am hungry. I need to eat before the Super Bowl. All right, guys, but I'll be on later.